Tonight, on WTOP-10 Nightly News, cooling your house this summer may just be getting a little bit cheaper.
And WTOP-10's Natalie Barden does an exclusive interview with SUNY Chancellor John B. King.
And we have updates about the Student Association elections.
WTOP-10 Nightly News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to WTOP-10 Nightly News. I'm Thomas Cafarella.
And I'm Kaley Richmond.
Today, SUNY Oswego College Council Chair Jim McMahon sent out an email to all SUNY Oswego students with updates about the presidential search.
The email states that the search committee has forwarded the names of the top 3 competitors to the SUNY Chancellor. They have decided to keep the names confidential at the moment. In the coming days, the 3 finalists will be interviewed, which includes a presentation to SUNY leadership members and background checks.
SUNY Chancellor John B. King was at SUNY Oswego on Friday as he aims to tour all 64 SUNY campuses across New York State. The visit came as the college student-run newspaper, The Oswegonian, posted a story online Thursday night detailing faculty concerns about current officer in charge, Mary Toll's eligibility to run for SUNY Oswego president. According to The Oswegonian, a group of 35 faculty members signed a statement process concerns for the officer in charge candidacy and sent it to the Presidential Search Committee on March 25th.
A few of those faculty members told the Oswegonian that some of their concerns come from confusion about the title of officer in charge compared to the title of interim president. WTOP-10 News Director Natalie Barden sat down with the Chancellor for an exclusive interview where she asked King what he would say to those faculty who are voicing concerns.
I'd encourage folks to look ahead to the outcome of the search process. I'm confident that the search committee is doing a good job analyzing the quality of candidates, and that ultimately they're going to make a recommendation of candidates for me to interview, and I'll make a recommendation to the Board of Trustees of an excellent next leader for Oswego.
Absolutely. And how does SUNY distinguish an interim president versus an officer in charge?
Yeah, and there's a range. It depends on the timing, on the specific needs of the campus, and that's something that has played out differently on different campuses over the years.
Toll is one of 5 candidates who may be moving on to the final round of interviews for that position. WTOP-10 reached out to Dr. Mary Toll for comment, but she was not available today. We'll keep you updated as this story develops.
SUNY Oswego professors are hoping for a big turnout at the Marano Campus Circle. The reason? Demanding fair contracts. The event is being organized under the United University Professions Union and is set to take tomorrow at 12:30. Other priorities for the protest include job security, fair salaries, and many other contract-related aspects.
The end of the semester is near, meaning that the Student Association elections are coming up this week from Thursday, April 27th at 8 a.m. until Friday, April 28th at 4 p.m. Student Association fee-paying students will receive a link to access the ballot on Laker Life to vote for the next SA President and Vice President. The candidates running for SA President are Austin Davis and Dylan DeCenzi, and for Vice President, Ohenetega Ajo. You can also watch SA's presidential debate on WTOP-10 tomorrow at 4 p.m.
Not 1 or 2, but 3 books have been published by Oswego senior Ricky Stachan, as his 3rd book was released just 2 days ago. The name of the book, The Beauty That Followed, is the 3rd installment of his series focusing on aspects of love with mixed poetry. If you would like to purchase any of Stachan's books, you can find them on Amazon.
And award-winning jazz saxophonist Alexa Tarantino will end the season of SUNY Oswego's Connect music series with a performance on Wednesday at 7 p.m. in Sheldon Hall. Tarantino was named one of the top 5 alto saxophonists of 2019 by the Jazz Times Critics Poll. Tickets are free for SUNY Oswego students and are available via tickets.oswego.edu.
Moving on to state news, Governor Kathy Hochul announced a plan today to get more air conditioning units into New York homes. The New York State is delegating over $15 million to help those who suffer from medical conditions caused by extreme heat. The program covers the cost and installation of air conditioning units. Up to 18,000 households are expected to be serviced under this new program.
And Governor Kathy Hochul has announced the start of severe weather awareness this week in New York State. In a press statement, the governor's office outlined measures of individuals can take to prepare for severe weather emergencies like flash flooding and tornadoes. First thing you want to do, find a safe place to take shelter for you and your family. You'll also want to build an emergency kit with flashlights, weather radio, and extra batteries. Also, stay tuned to TV and radio stations that broadcast emergency alert system messages and follow local emergency orders when issued. Lastly, you can also visit your local emergency management office to learn more about how to protect you and your family. Now, our Storm Team 10 meteorologist Aurora Fitzgerald is live in the studio. Aurora?
Yep, thanks guys. Coming up tonight, taking a look at our weather headlines, we have unseasonably cool temperatures, last week of April showers, and a rainy weekend is up ahead of us. I'll have more for you guys after the break.
Thank you so much, and coming up later tonight, more on a large fire that took over Philadelphia.
And lots of information about countries evacuating citizens from Sudan.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
I guess I have really been looking for love in this dating app. Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
We'll deep dive into our feelings in our Real Talk segment. Stay tuned because it's about to get real.
What's going on?
Yeah, dude, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
No.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa.
You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow.
Wow.
Get a close up with that one.
Matthew. Broadcast news.
Look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
Welcome back to WTOP-10. I'm your Storm Team 10 meteorologist, Aurora Fitzgerald. So taking a look back at our headlines, I will get to those in a minute. Taking a look at our current conditions. It is currently 41 degrees, sun's going down, there's probably a beautiful sunset out there. It's a little bit windy, west winds moving 7 miles per hour, and the humidity is at 77%. It's a little humid out there, it's not too bad. Taking a look at our day planner for tomorrow, 9 a.m. as you're heading out the door or to your classes. It'll be 42 degrees and partly cloudy, so make sure you have a jacket. It is going to be quite chilly. And taking a look at around lunchtime, noon, it's going to be 46 degrees. There might be some slight showers. Expect those throughout the day, scattered showers as well. 5 p.m., same thing, slight showers and 46 degrees. Now, taking a look at our pollen forecast. If you watched me last week, my allergies have been crazy all over the place. It is spring, everything is blooming. So, pollen forecast. Tree pollen is definitely high. The weeds, not so much. Same with the grass, and mold is a little up there, but your most concern right now is the tree pollen, and just make sure you take those allergy medications ahead of time. Trust me, you will thank me later. It helps a lot. Taking a look at our 7-day forecast. Going into tomorrow, 49 degrees for the high, 37 for the low. There are those really, really cold temperatures are a little abnormal for spring. Things should be warming up, but do not worry. As we head into later next week, we do see that 53 degrees, 60, and then 60 going on. Might drop just a tiny bit, but keep hope. It will get warmer. Don't worry. Might have slight showers on Friday and Saturday, even though it's going to be warm, but try to enjoy that warm weather and those warm temperatures. And going into the weekend, just a little cloudy, sunny, and slight chance of showers. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Aurora. Thick black smoke filled the air in Philadelphia this morning after a scrap metal and recycling center caught fire. Neighbors report hearing multiple explosions. It took about 140 firefighters and an hour and a half to get the blaze under control. One of them went to the hospital after suffering facial burns, but is expected to be okay. Officials are monitoring air quality and say so far, no hazards have been identified.
One person is dead and at least 4 others injured after a mass shooting in San Francisco Sunday night. It happened outside a topless bar in the city's North Beach area. Witnesses say they heard 4 to 6 gunshots and workers at the club rushed to help. The person who died is described as a 23-year-old man. The other victims are expected to survive.
Hundreds are dead and thousands more are injured in an escalating bloody clashes around Sudan's capital city of Khartoum by rival militant factions. U.S. Embassy personnel and their families were taken to safety. However, thousands of American citizens remain in the country, some by accident. CNN's Laura Agari has the latest.
Thousands of Americans, many of them dual citizens, potentially in harm's way around the Sudanese capital Monday. So far, no plans for a large-scale military evacuation for them.
The best advice we can give to those Americans who did not abide by our warnings to leave Sudan and not to travel to Sudan is to stay sheltered in place.
One woman says her sister-in-law, a stranded American teacher, had no warning.
I have been hearing this message in the past 2 days that American citizens were warned and asked to leave. Trillian says that is not true on her end. Trillian's been told by both the U.S. Embassy and the international school that she works for that she has to shelter in place.
Another says bad timing trapped her 2 brothers there.
My brothers went to go visit a family member, and then this happened a day before they were scheduled to come back to the U.S.
We've continued to be in close communication with U.S. citizens and individuals affiliated with the U.S. government to provide assistance and facilitate available departure routes for those seeking to move to safety via land, air, and sea.
Blinken says several dozen Americans are in a United Nations convoy heading for evacuation at Port Sudan, but many others are still stuck and waiting.
These are U.S. citizens. They've born and raised in this country, and they're being forgotten and left in a land that's completely unknown to them.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
Secretary of State Blinken says the U.S. is asking generals on both sides of the conflict to extend and expand a ceasefire that prevents further violence.
Other countries, including France, Spain, the United Kingdom, and Germany, have also started evacuating Sudan. We have information via Twitter about the German evacuations. According to a tweet by the German Armed Forces, the Bundeswehr, they have evacuated 311 people from Sudan this morning. The German Defense Ministry tweeted that half the evacuees are German. The rest come from over 20 nations. As of now, it is unclear how many German nationals remain in Sudan.
Kenyan police have found at least 50 bodies in a forest near the coastal town of Malindi. 8 other people were found alive, but later died. Investigators say they were members of a Christian cult who believed they would go to heaven if they starved themselves to death. Dozens more are currently missing. Police have arrested the leader of the group. And coming up later tonight, an MLB team is looking to move to Las Vegas.
And Disney is cutting back on its use of fire effects in their parks.
What's going on?
Yeah, dude, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
No.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Matt, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa.
You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow.
Wow.
Get a closer with that one.
Broadcast news.
Look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
We'll deep dive into our feelings in our Real Talk segment. Stay tuned because it's about to get real.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome back to Major Discussions.
Welcome back to WTOP-10 Nightly News. Disney announced this weekend that they will be suspending some fire effects during shows at the resorts worldwide. The decision comes after an animatronic fire-breathing dragon, Maleficent, caught fire at California's Disneyland, prompting evacuations in some areas of the park. Although no one was injured in the incident, some of Disney's most popular shows that rely on pyrotechnics will have to run without them for now.
The U.S. manufacturing industry could see layoffs starting this year now that the supply chain is running smoother. According to Wells Fargo economists, the manufacturing backlog caused by the pandemic should be caught up in about 5 months. The sector has already started to contract as consumers and manufacturers have begun to rein their spending on manufactured goods over the past few months.
There is a new emerging threat for iPhones. Millions of users are getting their control of their phones seized from them. Mike Valero explains how it works and how you can protect yourself.
It's a feature meant to protect you.
A method for Apple to be able to verify that you say who you really are.
But the Wall Street Journal reports thieves are exploiting recovery keys to lock you out of your account.
They can just generate a new recovery key, basically take over all of your information, your data, any of your apps.
For it to work, thieves have to know your passcode and have physical access to your phone.
A lot of the times it's in crowded areas where the thieves are, looking for people that are easy marks, easy targets, and they will watch them pull out their phones and watch them enter in their passcodes.
In a statement, Apple says it's always investigating additional protections against emerging threats. In the meantime, here's what you can do to protect yourself. Apple's screen time setting allows parents to set up a secondary password to help control how long their children are on the phone. You can use that to add a second layer of protection on your own device. Also, back up your phone to the cloud often. This will help you recover your data if the worst happens. And most importantly, guard your passcode when in public by covering your screen or using Apple's facial recognition.
You want to think of it as like your house key, because you're almost letting the people in. When the thieves steal your phone, they're getting into your life.
In Los Angeles, I'm Mike Valerio reporting.
Professionals are urging iPhone users to be vigilant to protect themselves from these attacks on their data.
The company Geisha is now expanding their recall on shrimp sold in 4-ounce cans since December. Kawasho Foods USA Incorporated says the affected medium shrimp may have been underprocessed, making it more likely to spoil. More information about the recall can be found on the FDA's website.
A new baseball stadium is underway and coming to Nevada. The owner of the A's, also known as the Oakland Athletics baseball team, announced last week they had bought 49 acres of land near the Las Vegas Strip. The team is reportedly asking for $500 million in public funding to complete the project. The team's president said they hope to have the project approved and move in by 2027. And coming up in sports, it's Jaden Jiggetts here in the studio.
Hey Jaden, can you give us a quick preview?
Yes, you can. We have a big NFL trade and more coming up after the break on WTOP-10 Nightly News.
Welcome back to Major Discussions.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Hey there, I'm Al Roker, class of 76. Yes, way back in 76. Back when the earth was cooling. You're watching WTOP.
Good evening, everyone. This is your sports anchor, Jaden Jiggetts of WTOP-10 Nightly News. To start off tonight's sports news, four-time NFL MVP Aaron Rodgers has been traded to the New York Jets. The 18-year quarterback has been in Green Bay since being drafted by them as the 24th overall in the 2005 NFL Draft and has led them to many successful seasons, including a Super Bowl victory at Super Bowl 45. Now Rodgers will be able to say goodbye to the green and yellow and start a new chapter in his career in the green and white of the Big Apple. Heading into Central New York, Syracuse women's lacrosse will be facing Virginia Tech Hokies in the ACC Women's Lacrosse Tournament quarterfinals on Wednesday, April 26th at 4 p.m. at American Legion Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. Syracuse will be entering this game as the second seed with a 15-1 record and with a win against the Hokies from earlier this season. This game will air on ACC Network and WJPZ 89.1 FM in Syracuse. Make sure to tune in. Moving into Oswego's women lacrosse, Lakers got a conference victory in a high-scoring game against Oneonta Red Dragons, final score being 16-13. Oswego Laker Isabella Lembo came up big in this game, scoring 7 goals for the Lakers, and 3 of those goals came from her in the third period. The Lakers will conclude their regular season play on the road this Wednesday, April 26th, against SUNY Cortland at 7 p.m. Oswego's men lacrosse took their first SUNYAC loss against the number 1 seeded Geneseo Knights, final score being 15-5. The Lakers struggled to put up points in this game as they went through the first period without scoring, and the score being 6-2 by the half. Lakers will continue their SUNYAC schedule on Wednesday, April 26th, when they travel to Cortland to match up with the Red Dragons at 4 p.m. Now, as we look into Madison Square Garden, we see the Knicks and the Cavaliers going to face each other. And already you see Jalen Brunson making a presence, making his presence known like he has been doing all season long. And whoa, what we got here? We got Darius Garland throwing up an alley-oop to Jarrett Allen. Okay, let's see here. All right, Darius is still showing off, showing what he got to do. All right, we got RJ. No, that's Jalen Brunson. Not that 3-in splash. Jalen Brunson showing that he's trying to win. He's trying to win 3 games right now. Okay, RJ Barrett with the ball, and what a pull-up jumper that was. And we see Spike Lee getting all hype. You know, he always been a Knicks fan. And well, we see RJ Barrett miss the shot, but Jalen Brunson got it, and he shoots that three, makes it in. He needed his turn. We see that the Knicks end up winning the game 102 to 93, and Jalen Brunson ended the game with 29 points.
Well, thank you very much for that sports report there, Jaden. We will be back right after these short messages. Stay tuned.
Hey there, I'm Al Roker, class of 76. Yes, way back in 76. Back when the earth was cooling. You're watching WTOP.
The Kinda Late Show with Chloe and Anna. Like licorice, Twizzlers, absolutely nasty. The thought of turkey is just nauseating. I think you're wrong, is what I think. You think I'm wrong a lot of times. I do think you're wrong a lot.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
I guess I have really been looking for love in this dating app. Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Welcome back to WTOP-10 Nightly News. And before we go tonight, yesterday, a 4.1 magnitude earthquake was detected in central New York, which was the strongest earthquake that hit New York in a decade. When did you guys all notice it when it came through, Aurora?
So I live on one of the higher floors of my hall. I personally did not feel anything, but once I saw that we had that alert, I was a little in awe. It's not impossible for it to happen. Very strange occurrence. It was kind of cool though.
What about you, Kaley?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I completely did not know that there was an earthquake until I found out on social media. So it was a bit of a shock to me, and I know that earthquakes aren't impossible here, but just to see that there was one here was very, very shocking to me.
And where were you? Were you on campus?
Yeah, I was still on campus. I believe I was still in my dorm.
All right, nice. Well, for me, I know I was at Tyler Hall for this, so I didn't really notice anything. Maybe it was because I was inside, maybe something along those lines, because I wasn't outside when it happened, but I didn't even notice until I checked social media a little bit later, just like you, Kaley. What about you, Jaden? Did you?
All right, so allow me to be the odd one out here that I felt that. I felt the earthquake,
Really?
okay? I felt it.
Yeah.
I was outside, and was it fun? No, it wasn't, okay? I rarely experience earthquakes. They're not fun at all. I'm surprised that none of y'all felt it.
Yeah,
I'm surprised too.
Yeah.
I'm surprised too.
That's really cool.
But Aurora, what about final weather? Since we're talking about earthquakes and natural disasters, talk about weather for us, eh?
So yeah, I mean, going to this week, kind of boring. I mean, we do have strangely cool temperatures. Again, you see that 49 degrees, 53 degrees. It will go up eventually, which I love to see. However, we will get some rain with the warm temperatures because all the water is evaporating and it's creating so much clouds, and April showers bring May flowers.
Yeah.
It's very hopeful. Thank you,
Very
Aurora.
hopeful. I'm hoping for warmer weather. Well, that is our report for tonight. Please be sure to stay tuned for Cream Fraiche.
Thank you for watching, everyone, and have a great night.
Peace.